Hey everyone, it's AlluringSimmer here, back with another speed build, and today we are building a winery. I did a poll in my Discord community or in my Discord server for people to decide what I would be building next, and this was the one that had the most votes. So thank you so much to anyone who participated in that poll to help me decide. But yeah, this was a really fun build to try. It was definitely a little bit out of my comfort zone. I'll be honest, I've never been to a winery myself, so Pinterest was my best friend for inspo pics for this build. Hopefully I did it justice. You guys let me know in the comments down below if you've been to a winery before. If so, do you think that I did a decent job? What would you maybe change up if you could, if you have more experience with a winery? Initially, I started off with this many levels and the build was kind of huge, and you'll see later on, like way later on in the build, I end up downsizing because I realized I didn't know what I wanted to fill the space with, and I didn't want to have a bunch of empty space. So we end up downsizing later, but I think it still turned out cute in the end. I use a lot of horse ranch in this build, so I will say keep in mind that if you don't have that pack, this may be a build that you might skip, or just, deal with the replacements that it ends up giving you. But yeah, I personally don't think that I used that many packs for this build, but maybe I should double check before saying that. So definitely, if you decide to download this off the gallery, make sure that you have all the packs that I use. I don't tend to do like limited pack builds, but if that's something you guys would like to see in the future, then let me know in the comments down below, and I can definitely consider doing builds using less packs so it's easier for more people to be able to download the build. This was another build that took me a decent amount of time to finish. I think I worked on it over the course of like 3 days or so. And I think it turned out pretty cute in the end. I will say that I don't have any recording of the landscaping in the back area of this build. It does have some stuff in, I would say, like the backyard, the back area. I don't really know how to specify what it is, but even though I don't have any footage of me doing anything back there, there is some stuff in the back for your Sims to use and enjoy as well as in the front. Landscaping with this build was definitely not my forte, but I tried my best. I don't tend to do a lot of like builds in, I guess, more like tropical areas like Tartosa or like Sulani, so I don't really have a lot of experience with like landscaping in these kind of areas. I did try my best, and I hope that you guys like it. But if you do have any suggestions for landscaping, feel free to let me know. I think I asked in the previous video, but I really do want to get better with landscaping if I'm going to continue to do more speed builds in the future. So any input, any suggestions is definitely greatly appreciated. Also, if you aren't already following me on Twitch, I would definitely recommend you doing so. I usually have a link in the description because you can let me know live what kind of input you may have on the builds that I do, and if you want to give me like tips for landscaping while I'm actively working on a build, it would be even more appreciated because I can apply those techniques in real time. Here we're moving on to the interior of the build. I was trying to figure out the floor plan. I had a vision in my mind of some of the things that I knew that I needed to have for this build. And then some parts I kind of just, went with the flow and decided as I worked on the build. So for the downstairs level, I was like, I know I need all of these barrels of, I guess, wine or nectar. I knew I wanted like I guess more of a secluded tasting area. So you'll see I add that later on in the basement. And then the middle level or the main level has a bar in the center. And then there's lots of seating for your Sims to like try out the various drinks. And then the upstairs level is more of like a lounge area, so there's a place for your Sims to kind of just chill and relax by the fireplace. There will be a place for your Sims to get married if you'd like to, and there's also just like little activities and stuff for your Sims to do. So I wanted this to function as a restaurant. So it is set as a restaurant on the gallery, and it is already available for you to download if you would like to. My gallery ID is AlluringSimmer, same way it's spelled here on YouTube. But yeah, furnishing the basement was a little bit of a struggle at first, like figuring out how I wanted the dining setting to look. I'm so sorry if you see like any jumps. It's because I worked on this over multiple days, and I also wanted to cut out some of the parts where like I was kind of just deciding in my mind what I wanted to do next. Because I just don't want to have a lot of like filler stuff. I kind of just want you guys to be able to see an overview of the building process. However, let me know if you guys want to see like every single individual idea and I guess thing that I tried out, even if it didn't work. Because if that's the case, then I can make these videos a little bit longer, but I kind of don't want them to be too long. So also let me know like what is the length of videos in terms of speed builds that you guys would like to see. Do you guys prefer like a longer video with a lot of commentary, or do you prefer like a quick overview of the build? Would you prefer for me to do like tours of the build, or do you guys like seeing the whole speed build process? I'm so sorry if I'm asking way too many questions, but I really want to hear like more feedback about the builds that I do so I can know how to improve and what exactly you guys want to see. Especially since I'm just getting back into it and I really do want to stay consistent with it. So definitely feel free to leave your input, even if it's constructive criticism. I would definitely appreciate it so I can make the videos better for you all. But here I'm working on the downstairs like VIP exclusive tasting area. So I have the bar back, and like a little dining area that your Sims can sit at and try some of the foods that I added. I did mainly like the alien cuisine, like the dishes that you get with that, because I thought they looked really fancy. I guess they're not technically alien food, but like the experimental dishes, and then a bunch of the nectars. I can definitely see myself using this in my let's play, because I think it would be fun to like have my sim come here either to like celebrate a honeymoon, to throw a wedding. I keep hinting at that even though we haven't gotten there yet, but you'll see later on that your sim has a variety of things that they can essentially do even though this is a restaurant. If you really like this build but maybe you don't have dine out, you can definitely set this as maybe a bar or a lounge, or maybe even a wedding venue if you wanted to. I just wanted to set it as a restaurant because I wanted it to be like a place where your Sims could come here and just have like a little drink and a nice, I guess, a fancy dish alongside that. But again, there's like multiple uses for this venue, and that's something that I really like to do with community lots. I do wish that in the future that maybe we get the ability to have like multi lots. I don't really know how to explain it, but just like a lot that can function with more than one purpose, and have Sims visit that lot with the intention of doing various activities. For example, like with this, I do have like a place for your Sims to get married. I have a place for like your Sims to just, treat this kind of as a bar. There's also like a dance floor. So the ability to have it like function as a bar, but also as a restaurant, but also as like a wedding venue would be really cool. So hopefully that's something that could potentially happen in the future. One thing that I would really love for sure is like the ability to have like a residential lot and business occur in the same vicinity, like be able to have like a live-in business essentially. I think that would be really cool. Or even just, I don't know, the ability to own like more community lots. Like right now we can own retail lots, we can own vet clinics, we can own I can't think of all of them right now off the top of my head. My brain is just blanking, but I do feel like it would be nice to be able to own like a lounge, or to own like a pool or a nightclub, and then just have your sim make residual income. I hope that's the right use of the word, but essentially to have passive income is what I was thinking of. The ability for them to make passive income just by like investing into whatever community lot or venue they decide to. You guys let me know what you guys think of that idea. I think that would be really cool. Now here, this was really fun to do, like adding the little ivy and vines at the top there, and then adding the lights. I feel like this build will look really nice in the nighttime. I tried to make sure to add lighting outside, which is something I always forget to do when I do a community lot or a residential lot. It doesn't really matter. I always forget about outdoor lighting, but with this build, I did not, and I made sure it looked just as good in the night and evening as it did in the morning. Also because I feel like this would be a lot you would probably be more likely to visit in the evening slash night, just because of the type of lot that it is. So yeah, I want to make sure that it looks good during all times of the day. Adding the little menu here in the dining area. I keep saying the dining area, but just like, I mean, that's essentially what it is, the area where your Sims can dine. Because this is functioning as a restaurant, I wanted to make sure there was enough seating so your Sims can sit around at the bar, if they just want to go there and grab some drinks. But if they want to go there and like have the dining experience of like trying out the different nectars, they can get assigned seating at one of the tables there. And yeah, now I'm just adding in a little bit of decor to kind of like fill in some of the gaps and just make the place feel a little bit more cozy and welcoming. I was really trying to make these drinks work, but then I don't know why, but I always want to make things like super realistic, and I just feel like I I'm thinking of the safety of the Sims. I'm like, what if those drinks and bottles fell on you as you were dining in the restaurant? Like, that would be awful. So I'm like, I can't do that. So I put these ones instead because I felt like they were more secure. Are they actually? I don't know. Can they fall on your Sims? Not really. Like, it's not actually possible. But, you know, some people really like the realism when it comes to their gameplay, and I want to make sure that I can offer that to you through my builds. Here I was adding in napkins and menus and little like clutter things to kind of make this place feel more, I don't know how to explain it. I want to say like more lived in. Obviously this isn't a house or a home that your Sims would live at, but just make it seem like, you know, this is a place that's frequented by people. You know, maybe someone has their notebook to jot down notes about the different nectars they try. I also put like a sticky note for that same reason, and then some magazines, which I would imagine would be like flyers to kind of advertise the different drinks that they have or maybe different locations that they have. Now that I just said that, that really makes me want to have the ability to own multiple venues, like other than the ones that we can already own. I just think that would be so cool. Like, imagine your Sim owning multiple like nightclubs or something, and like your Sim just becomes famous for being like a well-known nightclub owner, and then because of that they can, I don't know, get to know celebrities better. Obviously we already have Get Famous, and some of these things would be hard to integrate because they're elements that came with certain DLC, but I don't know, my brain is just churning right now with ideas. Here I'm using tulle because I realized that the plants and stuff were kind of sticking up through the ceiling, and obviously that was not cute, so I had to make sure that they were lowered a little bit so that they stayed on the level that they were supposed to be at. Here's where I was kind of like downsizing a little bit. I do really like how it was originally, but I also like how now it's not like so symmetrical, I guess. It has like a little bit of variation, and I think it's a little bit more interesting to look at, but that's just my opinion. Here I just copied the washrooms from downstairs, because I don't know, restrooms are not my thing. Like, I really just want to get them out of the way when I build a restroom in my own like lots, as well as like when I'm building a community lot. I mean, like, your Sims go in there for like maybe 3 seconds, you know? They go in there, they do their business, and then they get out. Maybe I'll put a little bit more effort for like residential lots, because I guess my Sims spend slightly more time in there because they also have to like shower, they can like brush their teeth and do all that stuff. But for a community lot, like, it doesn't really matter too much. I still try to add a little bit of decor to make them look interesting, and I try to add different paintings in all the different bathrooms, so at least you know, there's some variation there, but overall it's a restroom. Here's a little lounge area that I added, so your Sims can sit here by the fireplace, they can watch TV, they can just, you know, relax after they've had some drinks or maybe even before. I wanted this to kind of feel like a community lot, like a place where your Sims can like come together to just hang out. If they want to go and dine at the restaurant, they can do that. If they want to just go dance, they can do that. If they want to get married here, they can do that. If they want to have the reception here, like there's so many different opportunities for you to use this lot, even if you don't have like the restaurant functionality. So I just want to reiterate that just to let you know that like if you don't own certain packs or if you don't have like certain features, that this lot could still be used in a variety of ways. As I'm someone who builds as well as doing like gameplay, I definitely try to take that into consideration a lot when I'm doing my builds. Like, how can I make this like fun for your Sims? How can I make this functional? How can I make it interesting and leave room for like a lot of storytelling? So hopefully that shines through with this build. Here I'm adding in the wedding arch and the little seating area for the wedding. I did not playtest it. I will be completely transparent about that. But I do try to keep in mind the rule of like leaving enough space for Sims to navigate throughout the lot. And I'm hoping that that, you know, worked out here. I will probably end up using this in my own gameplay. So if I notice any issues, I will just re-upload the lot. Like, it's honestly no issue at all. And if you try it out in your own gameplay and you notice any issues or any issues with routing or just like navigating through the lot with your Sim, then definitely let me know in the comments and I can get that, you know, fixed. But yeah, here I'm just adding in some decor and paintings for your Sims to view as your Sims get married. Honestly, even though this was kind of like a last minute addition, because I was like, oh, that would be kind of cute for your Sims to be able to get married here, I feel like this is probably one of the best wedding venues I've done. And now I'm kind of sad because my Sims have already gotten married. So like they clearly can't get married here, but maybe a future generation can. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, we are getting close to the end of this build. Here was when I decided like we need to make this function as a restaurant. So I was adding in the items needed for that functionality. And I did add like the bare minimum. I didn't go for like a full on chef's kitchen because at the end of the day, this is mainly a winery. Like your Sims just get drinks here. On the very back porch, I added the like nectar making station because I wanted to kind of give that vibe. Like your Sims could also get like tours here. Obviously they can't actually, but you can like add that into your storytelling. Like your Sim could get a tour at the winery or the nectary and like learn how to make their own nectar. If you have a Sim that wants to develop that skill, you can bring them here to do that as well. So I think we're going to wrap the video up here. If you enjoyed, feel free to give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to my YouTube channel if you haven't already. Check me out on Twitch. Link is in the description down below. I stream almost every single day at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time or 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, usually on the weekends. And yeah, comment down below what you guys want to see in future videos as well. I really appreciate all the feedback I've received so far. I will see you all in the next one. Bye.